we go. All right, we are doing it. We are movers and shakers. All right, all right, all right. Good morning, America. Good morning, San Francisco. Good morning, Las Vegas, Henderson, and good morning, San Diego. Everybody, right? And the whole world. This is Vinney Chopra. Thank you so much for joining us on Vinney and Beau Show. We come to you live every Friday at 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern. Please join us. We are trying to kind of do these things so that it's very effective. And a lot of our audiences can chat with us. We could share the screens, the case studies. We could answer your questions. We could look at the analytics and everything. Please chat with us and let us know where you are from, your name, and you may have questions on real estate. It's a real estate show. It's a commercial real estate show, commercial lending show. As Beau is the specialist of giving the best of the best loans. And then I am the syndicator who has been doing it. And some of you might have seen some books that I've written. Positivity Brings Profitability. Oh my gosh, I just picked up the Spanish version of the book. I have also an English version somewhere here, but that's the syndication book. Again, thank you for joining. We got a great Beau. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, and thank you. My mother-in-law is here from Mexico, actually, and I gave her a copy of your book, and she doesn't speak English or read English, so she's blown away by syndication, right? She's like, whoa, like I can actually get money and buy real estate from using other people. So she's going to go back to Mexico and become a real estate tycoon because of you. And which is good for me because
that's amazing. Thank you so much. I know you sent me a little clip of it. I can't even figure it out how to show it straight to the audience. Again, apartment syndication made easy. Thank you so much for her really great comments. It really mean a lot to me. Thank you, Beau. And again, I do want to talk about today. We have a great guest. Jay Johnson is in the house right there. Hi, Jay. How are you, brother?
Hey, Vinney. Hey, Beau. How's it going today?
Good. Good to have you and love to introduce you. And we're going to dig into, Jay's accomplishments. And just to kind of introduce Jay, he 26 years in Navy as a search and rescue helicopter crewman, accidentally discovered rental income after purchasing first home at the age of 22. Old and became hooked on to real estate. So he's been practicing at military retirement, began next career in real estate, residential sales teams, and focused on educating and serving military members and veterans. I'm so proud and thank you to all the veterans and all the military, naval personnel and everybody in the USA. I mean, it's so the freedom comes with a price. I just want to take my hats off to all the veterans and everybody who's there on the face line, and especially during COVID, our healthcare professionals and everybody. I mean, hearts go out. Of course, the police and the whole law enforcement, all the people. So thank you. Started Expertise podcast in 2020 to provide investing education and exposure. Jay does. He's a host of that. So welcome, Jay. How are you, brother?
Hey, I'm doing well, Vinney. Good to see you again.
Same here. We're going to dig into kind of take us back and kind of share with our audience, how you got started and what's your focus right now and what's your focus in the next 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. As you mentioned before, I, purchased my first home at 22. I was brand new in the military and really didn't know what I was doing. It wasn't the best experience because I was clueless. And then as soon as I got, transferred once and started getting rent checks, I was hooked. I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool thing. Didn't even understand really at the time. But that just got me hooked to learn more and to continue doing it. And obviously it was at a small scale, but it provided so much freedom for me to continue to do it, because I loved my job, the military job. But we don't make a lot of money doing those things, but no one else was going to give me helicopters and weapons and stuff like that. So it was a good trade-off. If I could invest a little and supplement, but still do a job I enjoyed, it made it a lot more, I think, a lot more pleasurable career in the military, just by having that outside income coming in.
For sure. For sure, a lot of our audience, they are W-2, right? Or entrepreneurs, or they have, like a profession, of course, like dentists and doctors and surgeons and, IT people. Like I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, a lot of Silicon Valley people follow us and all. And the key thing, you're right, is to have that passive income. Get those streams of income going to make it, very live when we are ready to retire.
Yeah, I agree. It makes a huge difference.
Yep. So how did you get into? No, go ahead, Beau, buddy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. So Jay, you're in San Diego. What part of San Diego?
I am currently in Mission Valley right now, sitting in my home office. Yeah. So very central.
San Diego is my favorite city in all of California.
It is. It's a lovely city. Yeah, I enjoy going there. My wife loves it too. Yeah.
It's my favorite city. I say that when I was thinking about relocating for the Bay Area, I was like, okay, well, I could live in San Diego, or that was my first choice. But then I looked at the cost of living and I go, okay, Henderson, Nevada it is. But
no, that's a good place too, Beau. You got into a great place, buddy. Yeah. Henderson is growing like crazy, and, economy is great, and no state tax, smart people moving there.
Big difference there.
Yes. But no, tell us more then, so what has your journey been now? What facet of real estate really gets you excited? And then also maybe the audience want to know, how did you take that step? I think that's a big thing,
Yeah, sure. First of all, I guess what we're to now is, still on the residential side, the residential teams are growing. So we're just expanding into Maryland this month. And then with the idea of a few more states, but as that's grown, and, I've got great people working with me. So, it's freeing up a little bit more of my time to focus on the education piece that I'd mentioned. But I'm just really drawn to the education side myself, and I want to learn more and experience more. And that's kind of how the podcast got started. And it wasn't my idea. A couple of my teammates had mentioned when I would meet with people to kind of just explore things and collaborate on things. And they're like, why don't you just do this as a YouTube or as a podcast or something? Because why not let people learn while you're doing it, as opposed to me trying to learn everything and then, pass it on. And it's been, I think it's been a good experience, because people see it as just a conversational, they learn why I learn, and I get to seek out, gives me an excuse to seek out people like yourself, to learn things that I haven't experienced. And that's really what I'm driven to. And, I was connected through some good people to you on the syndicate, to learn about the multifamily and syndication style that I have not been involved with yet. So it's just been a great way to network and experience things myself and continue investing while helping some other people, at least give them the idea that you can take that action. You don't have to know everything before you start the process.
Excellent. Actually, this could be a very good segue. If you don't, mind, I would love to share my screen. And what we are trying to say to all of us here, there it is, screen right there, is that we did a very nice passive wealth symposium. Everybody watching us now and even later on. And this is for the busy professionals, business owners, entrepreneurs who want to invest passively and get their time and freedom back. And we did a 2-day seminar, just finished it a couple of weeks back. And it was wonderful. We were able to line up some top of the top speakers and hosts like this one. You can just see right now, some of them. who just gave their heart out, to all the audience. We had 1,175 registered, attendees. Not everybody showed up, because of the weekend, but we were able to record every single thing, by the way. And that's where I'm going to take you all right there. So if anybody's interested, you could just go to passivewealthsymposium.com. Well, it says remarketing some number. I think it should be a small digit, but anyway, but that's where, we'll be able to have all the recorded versions of the 2 days with question answers and everything. You could get a VIP pass and so on. So just wanted to say that they are sponsoring our project. Okay, for live, broadcast today. Yeah.
So
right.
Jay, so Jay, what does your business look like now? You have a real estate brokerage, right? You have an EXP. You're powered by EXP. I saw on your website.
Correct.
So you do traditional sales and listings, and do you specialize in working with military?
We do. Yeah, we do. I would say probably 85%. Has been military. It's a huge population here in San Diego with military, and we just really, I think through the education piece, that's naturally kind of occurred on the military side. And we specifically went with EXP for our brokerage so that we could spread into those other states, into those other military concentration areas.
That's good. That's a great idea, actually. And so it was funny. I was talking to somebody on the phone that was calling about financing advice, and she wanted to buy all these rental properties. And I think you'll get a kick out of this. And she was military, and I go, well, why don't you use your VA benefit, get 100% financing? She didn't own any real estate at the time. I said, listen, you want to know the best way, because she has very limited funds. Go out and buy yourself a duplex, triplex, or fourplex. Use your VA, live in one of the units. Okay, maybe a year or two later, you can move out, right? And you can. And where else can you get 100% financing? Maybe you can get the seller to, credit you some of the closing costs. You can literally walk into a house with no out of money expenses, and you can live for free and then cash flow. It's like the best scenario, because we get all these like first time home buyer, like newbie investor questions, right? And it's like, just where can you get high leverage financing, FHA or VA? VA obviously with you is where you specialize, and you can leverage. That could be your first step up. But if you reduce your $2,000 a month rent expense to zero and maybe make $1,000 a month in rental income, right? It's just like house hacking 101 that these people should be looking at doing.
100% agree. That's something that we focus a lot on. And as you know, it's been a year and a few months now that the VA loan became unlimited, right? With the amount that, as long as you qualify for it, you can borrow it. Whereas before we had those loan limits. So now even in places like San Diego or San Francisco or any of the higher market areas, you can still get into a 2, 3, 4 unit, investment property really, and make some good returns.
Yep. Cash flows. You bet. I mean, that's what we talk about on this show. A lot of people, they are into single family. I always promoted, we started with a duplex ourselves, and then 14 units, and then 100 units, then 200, 500, then, now we have 4,600 units. Look at that. So small, we always start small, and that's the way to do it. We got to make that decision. You know what? I'm not going to buy one single family, go for a 4-plex or 8-plex. It's just like Beau is doing, right, Beau? Now, you're underwriting 40 units. And John Rusin, he just joined, my academy 2 years back, right? He's my VP and partner. He's bought 20 units. Now he's looking at 126 units. Amazing. It's just the same transaction, and you're able to have the biggest bandwidth and more cash flows. You're right. Yeah.
100%. And as we spoke about before, just taking that first step is huge. Yeah. And a lot of times when people are starting out, I think that is the toughest thing. They can read a million books, but just stepping in, talking to someone like Beau or talking to a lender right off the bat and finding out realistically what you're working with is huge. And then it's back to the VA thing, just getting into that initial duplex, triplex, up to a 4 unit. And beginning that process, that can just parlay into more and more and more. So you just have to get your foot in the door first. And that's something that I've been tracking with just a certain purchase of mine. I did purchase 2 units, like they're like basically a duplex, but a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on one lot. Gosh, in 2012, I believe it was. So no money into it for the VA, and then I ended up transferred to Japan for a few years. So it really was just a rental property at more or less breaking even as far as cash flow, which is still a win, right? Because I have no money into it. But then after that returned, there was enough equity where I took a HELOC and renovated them both. So still none of my own money. And then a few years later, I was able to cash out refi and take a big chunk out. And the payment stayed the same. So now I was making basically doubling the mortgage and making that income. But now I had this cash to purchase. And so I'm kind of tracking this one little ball of cash from that one to see how far I can take just that one, just for kind of a project. And so that's helped me bid the down payment for another new construction. And then from taking that out into another investment that we just did and are just finishing up, we've gotten all our money back out from that too. So that one VA loan has produced about $5 million in properties that I put no money into, and anyone can do it, Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful story. That's the real key to success, is to be able to have the velocity. We call it velocity of money. The money's dead. If it's in the equity in a real estate or wherever it is, we got to pull it out through HELOC or refi like that. Money's so cheap, and brother Beau can put you in the best of the best terms. And I say that because we have new audiences. I mean, Beau got me $8.7 million loan on a multifamily in 15 days closing.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the people met with me one day. After 15 days, I was in Japan, by the way, with my family, and they closed the loan. My attorneys closed the loan within 15 days, thanks to Beau Eckstein. So, I mean, if you're looking for really tremendous terms, and who is really, looking forward to be on your side to get the loans closed, that's Beau Eckstein. And if you want to even passively invest, that's me. I just started a $50 million fund, which is a 506C. So I can talk about it. That's the thing. I know anybody can invest with me, even if you don't just hear from me or look at me right now. You could just reach out for the strategy call, and we can get you in the fund, because we don't have to have a pre-existing relationship. It's only for accredited investors. I want to say that, only for accredited investors. No, let me also mention it again, Jay, that the key also is to scale up. We had so many fears, my wife and I, when we started 14 years back. That was the most fearful moment, to take somebody's money. And then you say, oh my gosh, if I lose that money, how will my friend like me? Or they're going to just be on our door knocking on, So the thing is the education, what you're doing, you're teaching people to get comfortable and to have a mentor or somebody who can kind of pave the path, rather than doing your own and making the blunders and, being in a fearful stage. I think it's better to really have a good operator or vendor or whatever mentor, so that you could take that first step, right?
Absolutely. You need the people you trust around you.
So true. But the thing is to scale up, it's that first step, right, Beau, in anything, buddy. I mean, if we don't that first, if I had not taken 14 years back the first step, I wouldn't be here, right? So everything happens slowly. Rome was not built in a day. Taj Mahal was not built in a day. It took 2.5 years and so on. So all those things happen. So tell us more. What's your attitude right now? And what kind of, things are you looking in the future? Yeah.
I'm excited right now. Obviously, a lot of things are changing. It's kind of crazy. I know on our episode that you did with me for my podcast last week, I got to learn a lot about, your, as far as the multifamily in the senior living, and I had some cool ideas from that, like a lot of great ideas. So with so many changes, I think that it just presents opportunity. There's some difficulties, but all those can be turned to opportunity. And one of the things I took away from our conversation last week, which I believe in, even in the single family side. So now I want to be able to apply it, like you said, to keep stepping up and expanding, but be able to apply some of those principles at a higher level, but is just paying attention to where things are going. Like the points you made of the amount of people aging into certain, demographics of doing that multifamily towards that. And you've kind of made the bookends, you know what I mean? It seems like, you've got the multifamily, you've got millennials that are, getting condos or living into these, multifamily communities. But then on the back end, you're capturing the senior living and providing great opportunities for those guys. So I think that that's a huge thing for anyone. And that's kind of how I'm looking at future stuff. Where are things going? Where do I want to invest? Even more so than what I want to invest in, make sure there's people coming to where you're going to be, right?
Excellent. Beau. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, I'm curious, Jay, are you guys experiencing the same thing with the shortage of inventory and so forth, like everybody right now? I just talked to a guy from Austin, and he was just telling me he's a commercial guy. I was going to introduce you to Vinney because he's got a lot of contacts on the multifamily side. But he was just telling me his mom's a high-end realtor, and she was representing like a hedge fund guy moving there, trying to buy a house, and he can't buy a house, right? Like there's no inventory. So, and that's how it is in the Bay Area right now. It's
I
like
wish I could show
Vegas.
you, Beau. Oh my gosh, I should have brought it. One card came to our mailbox yesterday where I live in the country club here, Black Hawk Country Club. People are paying $321,000 above the asking price. I couldn't believe it. $321,000 to all the way to $176,000 above price. One houses they showed, and then with the arrows, how much people got more than asking price. It's totally boggled my mind, literally boggled. Beau, he represented me when we bought this place. This place is gaining value 700,000 just year and a half. Oh my gosh! Thanks to Beau.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I wear a lot of hats, but I don't really sell that much real estate anymore. But I do. I'm a licensed California broker. I'm a licensed Nevada salesperson. But I like doing it now because it keeps you grounded, right? Because you even doing residential real estate, it relates to commercial, right? Like what's the days on the market? What's the occupancy levels, right? Like you need to know all this stuff when you're looking at making investments in any kind of real estate. Well, who's moving in, right? Like if you have an office building, who's moving, who's going to be, because in some markets, office buildings are doing very poorly. In other markets like Austin, it's a sexy commodity to own office, right? So you got to be aware of all these trends, which is just, it's kind of like mind boggling. That's why it's kind of fun to talk to people from nationally in different markets. And what it seems like is many of the markets are on fire right now, which is surprising because of what's going on with and now like Florida, for example, I heard they, because they're pretty liberal about not wearing masks, and apparently now it's trending back up with coronavirus. Yes. So, we got to get used to Zoom. I guess that's the thing, right? We're gonna be doing a lot more of this for the next year, unfortunately. But once the vaccinations roll out, it'll probably slow it down. So, but it's just been a interesting time, and I think people in general are migrating. People are making decisions to go where the jobs are. That's why you're seeing Austin's of the world's growing. People in California are moving to San Diego because they go, you know what, I can work from home. Screw LA. Let's live in San Diego because it's got the best beaches in California. People are moving to Nevada. People are moving to Arizona. We're in a time now, like, how do we adapt? If you're in California, there's no inventory. So investors are buying multifamily properties. They're adding ADU units. They're building, that's another huge trend too, right? Yeah. So it's just amazing. So how do we, And that's what Vinny's really good at is finding the trends and investing in those
Right.
markets, right? Like what he's
We
done
are
with
loving it. I
Yeah.
mean, I had meeting this morning, 6 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock there in Texas. Two brokers, they're giving off-market deals in Austin, San Antonio, North Side, where I bought 7 properties in Alamo Heights, sold them all, Seguin, San Marcos, all that. But now we are in Tennessee. We just had off-market deals come on my desk. We are underwriting it, and Carolinas and Florida. I mean, we are into the hot markets, not only in the millennials where the jobs are coming and coming very strongly, but also senior living. We are starting 8 locations of assisted senior living in Florida right now. 8 locations. Then Virginia, we have probably saturated Michigan totally. We are in Missouri right now. We are buying land over there. We're coming to Texas, then Arizona, then California in the inland. I mean, we're just going to be expanding. $2 billion is our goal on the wall. Yeah, we want to do this year, no, this decade, $2 billion in assisted senior living purchases and build up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. It's a great, but it's also a great, I mean, it's just a great product as well.
Yeah.
Providing that value to, people who
Huge,
deserve to enjoy.
I am so glad you said it. I think what really, gets me excited every morning is that I want to give the best of the best to our seniors. I'm a senior myself. I'll be 70 years of age next year. I'll be 69 in August. But the thing is, the big part is that there is 75 million of us, 65 plus. No, 56 million right now, but it's going to be 100 million of us, 65 plus. 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every night right now. And the shortage is so huge for senior living, for assisted senior living in every space for the next 30 years. So that's why we are very excited about multifamily, because we need to bring the communities, what we want to bring, luxury at an affordable price. Yeah.
Right. It's huge.
Yeah. No, so nice, buddy. How can people reach you? Yeah.
I can be reached at Jay@landingcollective.com. Landing, just like landing a plane, collective.com, or Jay@expertishpodcast.com. Okay. And happy to talk with anyone interested. Or, our website is just landingcollective.com, obviously. Okay. So any way to reach out would be great.
Appreciate that. Thank you for spending time with us, Jay. It's such a pleasure to know you, bud. And, we would love to, follow and see if we can do anything for you, reach out, or anybody listening and watching to us, please go ahead and, I don't know where is that caption right over there. If you would like to have a strategy call, it's a free strategy call with me or with Beau, again, for investments, passive investments or active investments or partnerships or education in understanding the commercial business. That's me on this side. Beau, my buddy, is the number one in the loan side. Beau, you want to kind of give a little preview, buddy? Yeah.
Sure. Just, just have a really good grasp of all different types of funding, whether you want to flip a property, you want to build a rental portfolio, you want to buy a value add multifamily property, you want to finance a business with SBA using a 7A or a 504 green. I can give you guidance on all that kind of stuff, and also help on some working capital and secured lines of credit. So I just, people reach out to me because they want some advice in financing, right? Because you got to leverage other OPM, other people's money, and including the banks, right? How do you, just like Jay was talking about with what he did with the VA, that one VA deal, it was his like escalator up to real estate investing. And so that's where I always tell people to start. If you're getting frustrated, like, how do I do a fix and flip with like limited cash? Well, maybe you do a house hack, and then you call Jay, and Jay's going to show you around San Diego and find you a good opportunity there to cash flow, to live for free and cash flow. Can't beat that, right? That's the best way. Take that $2,000 a month, save it, and roll that money into the other investments. Keep going and going and going.
Absolutely. Fabulous. Again, thank you everybody for joining. Please join us next week at 9:30 Pacific or 12:30 Eastern, and we come live to you on Vinney and Beau Show. Again, I know we had the intro. I don't know, this is a new segment or the platform we are using with Restream. We were at StreamYard. So we'll just say like this and, finish it off. We'll come live next week. See you. I don't think we have an outro today. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jay, for your time, bud.
Thank you both.
Okay, bye-bye.